I'm the grandson of two grandparents that were able to age with dignity in their own home well into their 90s. But they were only able to do that because I had an uncle who was willing to give his life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help take care of them. Everybody ought to be able to age with that dignity in their own home without having that type of family sacrifice. That's why my healthcare plan at andybashir.com talks about how we're going to add funding to the SHIP program and the Heart Supported Living program, both of which support our seniors stay at home while they age, and it's a win for the state as well because it lowers all of our costs. But the other thing we're going to do is to make sure that we fight the increasing costs of staying at home. That's why I've teamed with AARP to fight these rate increases, to make sure that power bills and water bills don't increase faster than any COLAs attached to a fixed income. We're going to make sure that seniors can age within their own home, with their own family, the right way.
This question is very personal to me. Someone my age, you start to have aging parents. My grandmother passed away recently at 103 years old, stayed in her home almost until the last several months of her life. It's important for people to have that. What I can do at the state level, what we are doing here in Kentucky, is working with the federal government with our 1915 waivers. These waivers allow us to be able to use Medicare dollars in ways that allow us to empower and better reimburse caretakers so that they can provide care in people's homes as opposed to an institution. Again, for some, a care provided in an institution is the best thing and maybe even what they desire. But for those who want to be in their own home with family or trusted loved ones, this is the ideal. I've seen this in my own family. It's what my parents would like to see. It's what I'm determined as governor to make sure is possible to every single Kentuckian. I think it's important for people to know, and I think most of those watching this understand, that the federal government has more to do with drug prices than a state does. However, what can be done at the state level is what I have been doing, and that is to work with the PBMs, the pharmacy benefit managers, that are sort of the intermediary between the drug producers and the end user. And believe it or not, even though the drug companies often get a bad rap, they're making far less profit than some of the middlemen are. I think efficiency, making sure that the money is being spent on the medication. Interestingly, if you look at the cost of medication, it's some of the specialty drugs, even though they're only 2.2% of the drugs that are consumed, that account for 45% of all the expenditures. So we've got to be smart about where the money goes, making sure that we hold the PBMs to account, and that we are as efficient as possible to make sure that the people buying the drugs are the ones getting the full benefit of the value they're spending.
I'm in a fight right now to keep drug prices for seniors under control. My fight includes a federal action that would otherwise reopen that donut hole, costing seniors thousands of dollars extra. I am not going to let that happen. I'm also going up against generic drug manufacturers, where for the first time in history, the prices are going up when the market should always push them down. And I'm taking on companies like our insulin manufacturers, where it costs $7 a vial to manufacture, and they're trying to charge hundreds of dollars to our seniors and everyone else. I'm going to make sure that no one can ever discriminate against our seniors on drug pricing, and that we bring everyone's costs down. Look at our plan on andybashir.com. It'll show you how we're going to save money for the state, and it'll show you how we're going to save money for you too. Living on a fixed income seems to get harder every single year, with far too many of our seniors having to decide between putting food on the table, paying the power bill, and buying the prescriptions that they need to survive. So I'm going to oppose any new taxes on our seniors, and we're going to return the exemption to that $41,000 mark that so many of our seniors plan for. But it's also why I've been so active as Attorney General, creating our Office of Senior Protection, ensuring no senior ever gets scammed out of their retirement. Thus far, we've returned nearly $2.2 million to seniors that had that money stolen from them, and we signed 25,000 people up to get the warnings to make sure they never fall for those scams. In the Commonwealth of Kentucky, no one should ever have to make those terrible decisions, and for so many of our seniors, that are raising their grandkids during the worst drug epidemic of our lifetime, we've got to make sure they can afford that too.
It's interesting when you look at what people pay in retirement. I'm a big fan of people paying zero on their income. I'm the only governor in the history of Kentucky to cut income taxes. We've cut them 17% already since I've been governor. My intent is to get them to zero like Tennessee. You look at Indiana just north of us, 100% of income is taxable in retirement. You look at Ohio just north of us, the most you can exempt is $6,000. So at $31,000, we're already an outlier on the high end. But I'd rather see it be zero. I'd much rather be the Tennessee model. Everything that I believe in is about allowing people to choose for themselves how much tax they pay. Don't tax income, don't tax production of wealth. Let's tax it when people spend it. Let's move to a consumer-based tax economy. It's the fairest, it's the most equitable, it puts the most choice in the individual hands. This is what we have been doing. This is what I'll continue to do as governor of Kentucky.